This is Pocket. I never go anywhere without it. At the tap of a button,
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, our president wants to start early today, and this is his last meeting, so we can't say no. So please find your seat, and let's get going.
For a while. You've never done this.
Long time.
Oh yeah, do it like this.
You having fun there?
No, I want to be surprised. Yes, we do.
I thought I was going to write something new, and all the notes that I put down were like, wait, I already have these lovely essays, I should just write those.
Beautiful.
I have a good friend who's a poet, and a person who made it down. But he's a very fine poet, and when he didn't make money, he sent out baseball. So he would write these kind of interesting little quirky bits about baseball, like pick an obscure baseball player, some scandal that had never been mentioned.
That's excellent, yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of, I'm not a big baseball fan, but his books are kind of fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's good to have like compartments.
You're good, you're good.
Larry Muffy, M-O-F-F-I.
I have not.
It's magical. He's got third place, but
Okay, team, game time. I call this meeting of Oakland Rotary number 3 to order. I should tell you, today is my last meeting at the podium. And I know you're gonna grow to miss this whistle. So welcome to Oakland Rotary number 3, the 3rd oldest Rotary Club in the world. I'm Joe Gorelka, President, retired CPA and CFO of East Bay Restaurant Supply. And you can call me Around the world, there are more than 46,000 Rotary clubs with 1.26 million Rotarians in over 221 countries, providing more than 47 million service hours. Just about every city you can name has a Rotary Club. We have both local and global impact. We gather as business and community leaders to make a difference in the world and right here in Oakland, to support each other and to support each other's businesses, and for some fellowship and fun. Welcome. Thank you, Armand. Welcome either in person or online. So now I'd like to introduce any visiting Rotarians that we have. I'm aware of one, the charter president and now past president again of the Delta Antioch Club, my better half, Martha Gorelka. Martha? Do we have any other visiting Rotarians? Now I'd like to welcome any guests of Rotarians. Are there any Rotarians with a guest? Bill?
All right, it's my pleasure to introduce Terry Frangi, a friend of mine from Junior Achievement with Young Solutions, an executive coach, and her daughter Basha, who has just graduated from Cal.
Welcome, welcome. Do we have any other guests? Oh, Fred's got a guest. Oh, a very important guest.
Hello, President Joe. Ralph Sklar, for those of you who do not know me. And my guest today is my very own wife and very first girlfriend, Terry.
Allison Bliss and Shannon Hackley.
Hi, we've got a visiting, well, he was a Rotarian in Louisiana, Shreveport. This is Lawrence Brandon. Welcome to Oakland.
Do we have any other visiting guests of Rotarians?
Hi, Joe.
Hey, Allison.
Hey, I'm Allison Bliss, and I see that nobody is introducing some of our enterprise wonderful people up at the front. Maybe we'll do something later.
That's going to happen soon, yes.
My particular friend, Joseph, is here. Joseph, could you just wave? He's been a big supporter of Rotary at the Oakland High School.
Susan? Nope. We're all good. Fred?
Coach Joe, I have a guest today, a student who would have been here last year, but he didn't make it, so he agreed to come today. You stand up, Leo. Leo goes to the University of Puget Sound, and most of all, I have to compete with Mary Zhang because she got 2 CPAs. He's going to become a landlord like me.
Any other guests? No? Okay, now please welcome Bill Plummer, an executive coach and founder of the Clubfoot Fund. Bill's going to give us a thought for the day, and in honor of Flag Day, he's going to lead us in the pledge. And I think there'll be a flag on the screen.
Well, thank you, President Joe, and why don't we have a round of applause for President Joe? About a year ago, I offered a thought for the day, and the thought for the day was that it was forbidden to abandon hope. And that was generally well received, but a few people came up to me and said, well, how the heck can I do that in the world that we live in today? And here's my suggestion about how to maintain hope. Talk to yourself, but do it differently. We all talk to ourselves, but you can talk to yourself and do it differently. We have an interior monologue that we can control. And here are some thoughts to consider to maintain hope. The map is not the territory. The menu is not the meal. The forecast is not the weather. If we want things to stay the same, a lot will have to change. My life has been full of tragic events. Some of them happened. We don't see the world as it is. We see it as we are. So these are mostly unanswerable and paradoxical statements, but they can help you to think differently and help you to maintain hope, which I think is important in the world that we're living in. Great example is the New York Knickerbockers last night, down by 29 in the third quarter, and they did not abandon hope. They came back and won. So as a native New Yorker, I'm very happy about that. Please rise if you're able for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Bill. Liz and Marcel, wander on up. Welcome. Armand, could you stand up for a minute? Kind of wander in the room a bit. I know you think ties aren't catching on. I wore this one in honor of the World Cup soccer. Check out our AV intern, Armand. Thank you, Armand. And I have one quick announcement. I'll go a little out of order here. But I just want to let you know that our board just made some changes to our due structure. Categories for standard and over 65 dues stayed the same. Categories for couples and for under 40 have been reduced slightly. And we formed a new voluntary category for sustaining members and was established at $100 a month. It's a little extra, but the idea is that for those that can afford a little extra, this extra will allow the club to provide incentives to attract and keep younger members and those that are experiencing some hardship, and to fund some operational wish list items. So I want you to know the club lives on dues only. The donations go to Jason Weiselman's endowment. Jason's the president. But anyhow, the club lives on dues. So please, if you can afford a little extra, step up and become a standing member. And if you could, let Pam know before the dues invoices go out later this month. Now I'd like to welcome some new players to the team. New talent to keep our bench strong and to continue making a difference in Oakland and in the world, both now and in the future. Today we have a new corporate member to be inducted with 2 members. Each new member will receive a Rotary pin and badge, plus a packet that includes a club directory, a copy of Rotary's 4-way test, which is our rule book for business and life, a 4-way test coin, and of course, a ball cap. Our corporate member is sponsored by Kathleen Uribe, an associate at Kathleen Uribe Financial Consulting, providing financial strategies and financial planning. Kathleen, I have a 4-way test coin here for you as a thank you for sponsoring a new member. Please come up and introduce our new corporate member, St. Vincent de Paul, and introduce their two members that are representing them with 2 interesting facts.
All right. Well,
Kathleen?
thank you so much. Yeah, I love this. Thank you. Okay. Hello, fellow Rotarians. I'm excited to introduce our 2 corporate members today from St. Vincent de Paul. And all of you know St. Vincent de Paul by the service events we do, Easter, Christmas, and not only that, St. Vincent de Paul gives away backpacks to kids before school starts with all the supplies they could possibly use. But what I just learned today about St. Vincent de Paul is they are the only organization in Alameda County that donates $1 million per year to help families stay in their homes by paying their bills so they don't get evicted, paying their PG&E bills, paying for their Wi-Fi, and that's just amazing. I'm so proud to introduce our first corporate member, Marcel Lloyd, who is the developer of Impact and
Director of Programs and Impact.
Director of Programs and Impact, excuse me, and two awesome facts about him is he likes to combine traveling with golf. He goes with his buddies all over the place to golf, Hawaii, Oregon, Arizona, etc. And the second wonderful fact about him is that he was a coach for his son's high school sports and has continued to coach the youth in high school for basketball, baseball, and football because he loves mentoring the youth and giving back to the community. So I'm so proud to introduce our first member, corporate and newest member, Marcel Lloyd. Yes. All right. Okay. And now for our second newest corporate member, also with St. Vincent de Paul, I would love to introduce to you Liz Davis, who is the executive director of St. Vincent de Paul. And two wonderful facts about her is that she speaks French fluently, and she's from Wisconsin, so she's from the snow. And I asked her, what's your favorite part of your job at St. Vincent de Paul? And she expressed to me that it was seeing how people are changed when they are provided for, and she loves to see that. So please welcome our newest corporate member, Liz Davis.
Second here, Liz. Marcel over here. Kathleen on the other side over there.
Well, let me suck in.
Me too.
Thank you.
Don't leave, Marcel and Liz. Marcel, I have your Rotary pin and badge. This Rotary pin is recognized worldwide and comes with 260 new friends right here in Oakland and 1.2 million around the world. We know you are a superstar, Marcel, because you helped me get funded to jump in the pool, I think. But in any event, don't ever hesitate to say, put me in, coach. We are so glad to have you join the Oakland Rotary number 3 team.
Thank you very much, sir.
And Liz? Yes. Liz Davis, I have for you your Rotary pin and your Rotary badge. And as I mentioned, this pin is recognized around the world. When you travel, people will reach out and say hi to you. It comes with 260 friends right here, new friends right here in Oakland, and 1.2 million worldwide. We know you are a superstar because we've been to the Easter and Christmas events, and so we are so honored to have you be part of our club. Don't ever hesitate to say, put me in, coach. Welcome to the Oakland Rotary number 3 team.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Awesome.
Hey, Kathleen, if you could wander back up here, I want to present you something special. Kathleen, in recognition of your service above self efforts and being an active new member, from Camp Enterprise presenter to a new member reception greeter, to giving the thoughts for the day, to organizing a bike ride, and for always being involved and supportive of Oakland Rotary number 3, I present you a Rotary on the Run medal.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. What an honor. Thank you.
What? Oh, sorry. Thank you, Shannon. Christine Watson, we haven't seen you in a while. Could you wander up here for a minute? Christine's been a friend for a long time. She helped me way, way, way back when we were doing the Rotary Foundation campaign. Christine, in recognition of your service above self efforts in being an engaged board member this year and a past gala co-chair and an advocate and supportive fundraiser for both the Rotary Foundation and the Oakland Rotary Endowment, I present you a Rotary on the Run medal. Congratulations.
Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City.
I'm sorry, it's Las Vegas.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. You read the script. So it's with a bit of trepidation that I have to tell you that retirement is calling Christine and her family to Las Vegas, the Sin City, but she's headed off to Las Vegas in a month or two. So let's wish her well and let her know she always has a home right here at Oakland Rotary number 3.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, past President Dudley Thompson.
I just want to ring the bell for Christine. When I was president a few years ago, she really helped with our gala that year and then went on and did our fundraising. She was on TRF with you that year too. Thank you so much, Christine.
Dudley Thompson rings the bell for Christine Watson. I'm going to ring the bell for Christine Watson. Shannon Hackley rings the bell for Christine Watson. Karen Friedman rings the bell for Watson. Thank you all for those bell ringers. Fred Morris, I think, is ringing the bell for Christine Watson. Just so you know, a bell ringer is a generous $100 donation to our Oakland Rotary Endowment. It funds our community service projects, so thank you. Now I'd like to call up Dr. Steve Blair, a retired geophysicist from the Lawrence Livermore Lab, and Fred Morris of Morris Management, Inc., to give us an update on the Scholarship Committee.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Coach Joe. And good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. Well, we all know that Rotary does a great job of improving our community and investing in our youth. And it's our job on the Scholarship Committee to award, scholarships to Oakland kids that we've interviewed and looked at and decided we should go ahead with it. So this year, we're awarding 7 scholarships. Each scholarship is $4,000 a year over the 4 years. It's a total of $16,000, and they can spend it for their educational expenses. And and we also have a mentor for each scholar. One of our members stays with them. And so, following President Joe's theme, I would like to introduce this year's team of all-star students that we selected. So the first one you've already met, actually, which was is Leo Prado. He's from Aspire LWP, and he's going to University of Puget Sound, and Fred Morris is his mentor. The second one is Joseph Long. He's from Oakland High, and he's going to UC Berkeley, and his mentor is going to be Janice Brickman. The third that I'm going to introduce today is Cyrus Bradshaw. He's from Skyline High. He's also from UC Berkeley, and Matthias is going to be his mentor. The fourth is from Oakland High, another from Oakland High, Matthew's son. He's going to UCSD, great school I went to, and I'm going to be his mentor. Then we have from Ames High School, Samaret Samuel. She's going to UCSD, great school. And Michelle Himmelberg will be her mentor. And now we also have a couple other people that couldn't show up, a couple other ladies. One is Catherine Autry, and a lot of you may have met her at the Enterprise Institute. She was there for 2 years. This last year, she was one of the mentors. She did a great job, and she said she was going to be here, but she didn't make it. And the other is Eleanor Ye, and she's been a very active Interact student, but she couldn't make it either. Eleanor's mentor will be Pauline, and Catherine's mentor will be Kathleen Uribe. So anyway, let's give a big hand to these kids.
Thank you, Steve. Steve, if you could stay, and Fred and Pauline and Janice, and did I forget anyone? I guess Sam's not here. Hey, I understand several members donated personally because they believed in how worthy several of the students were, how deserving their situation was. Doubling the number of scholarships this year to a total of 7, giving from their personal heart to make the world better. So Steve Blair, Fred Morris, Pauline Fox, Janice Brickley, Sam Miller, and Abstentia, in recognition of your service above self efforts in providing education opportunities to deserving Oakland students that will make a difference in their lives and every life they touch for decades, I present each of you a Rotary on the Run medal. Congratulations. Please, Steve, wander out here so.
One, Joe, get in there. Squeeze in like you like each other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that was good. Good job, man. Thank you.
Sure.
Someday I'm going to get it. Thank you. So I think you can tell it's kind of my last day, so I'm giving out a few Rotary on the Run medals. Daniel, can you join me on the stage? Daniel Chang. Daniel, in recognition of your service above self efforts in organizing the youth committee's leadership and leading the many, many youth committees, and to an exceptional Enterprise Institute, 7 scholarships that we just talked about, a speech contest, 4 new Interact clubs, a new Rotaract club. I present you a Rotary on the Run medal. Thank you, Daniel. Right here. I've got a couple more, and we'll take why don't we take a picture of all 3? So you hang on a minute, Jason. And now I'd like to ask Rochelle. Rochelle, would you wander? Thank you for coming. Rochelle works hard, and it's often hard for her to make meetings, so I much appreciate her taking the time to join us today. Rochelle, in recognition of your service above self efforts in traveling to Africa to support Rotary projects firsthand, and for your growth in skills and respect gained by committee members to become the lead co-chair of the Carl Stuckey World Community Service Committee, doing good in every continent in the world. I present you a Rotary on the Run medal. Don't leave. And Jesse, would you join me on the stage? You guys know this guy, Jesse Bottle? Jesse, in recognition of your service above self-efforts and never saying no to a project or an important task that needs to get done, no matter how trivial or on how much short notice, for sharing your wealth of Rotary expertise and for being our ground control, keeping the right players on the field and off the field, I present you a Rotary on the Run medal. Our club is better because of you. Can we take a picture of the three of you? That'd be great. Get in there, Daniel.
That's Fred's job. Fred's on it. 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm really sorry about the angle, everybody. I'm saving the knees.
Fred Morris is ringing the bell. Oh, Ralph Scalar is ringing the bell. Sorry, Fred. Caught your attention. Actually, I think after all that, it's Barbara Berry that's ringing the bell. Barbara Berry. So that was Ralph and Barbara for 2. And I'm going to ring the bell for each of those. I'm going to ring the bell for Daniel. I'm going to ring the bell for Rochelle. I'm going to ring the bell for Jesse Bodel, who can't wait for my year to end because I call him 3 times a day. Bill? I want to ring the bell for Daniel, my Rotary Club mentor. Bill rings the bell for Daniel. And I think I told you, ringing the bell is a $100 donation to our Oakland Rotary Endowment. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Mary. So it is a tradition at the President's last meeting to present the Dan Lazar Good Job Award. Dan was president in 1990 to 1991. His frequent comments to members of Good Job were inspirational and led to the creation of an award in his honor when he became seriously ill. Dan was the first recipient, and Dan died 2 weeks after receiving this award. So before I get to this year's recipient, I want to let you know there were a few runners-up. Mark Rosen for the 4th of July Parade, Catherine Coleman for the Barrier-Free Park, Isaac Koss-Reed for the social media and getting a TV newscast, Keith Uriarte, is Keith out here? Keith, 11 new members. I say it again, 11 new members. And I know this one's going to be a surprise, David Stein, for his Rotary expertise, whether you want it or not. This year's Dan Lazar Good Job Award goes to a 30-year Rotarian who has been to more of my meetings than anyone except maybe Jesse, who has been on safari in Africa, who is on the board and is also a trustee on the endowment, donates extra to help provide Rotary swag, is the inspiration of that new sustaining membership category that we just talked about. He is on the AV team. We couldn't live without him. He had some medical issues this year, but still came to make sure the AV was running. This year's Dan Lazar Good Job Award goes to Ralph Scalar. Ralph, congratulations. Congratulations, Ralph.
You came close. I just want you to know, this is the one award I always wanted. This is the best award in Rotary. Thank you.
Thank you, Ralph.
Hold on, guys. You know, hold on. I just want to be able to get to you. Give me 1 second here. This is the big one. One, hold on. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's fantastic. And can I start it off?
Yes? Go ahead.
Oh, I take it?
Jason rings the bell. Linda Bosnicker rings the bell. Fred rings the bell. Dudley rings the bell. Ruth rings the bell. Rick Draper rings the bell. Karen rings the bell. Carla rings the bell. Christine rings the bell. Okay, thank you. We're going to start the speaker. We're going to start the speaker a little late because I want to do something really, really quick, but I'll make up the time, I promise. So today is my last day at the podium, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm off to the senior leagues and ready to be called up at any time when my general manager asks. Now I will have more time to support President Merlin Edwards, and I ask you to do so too. I need to say thank you to each and every Oakland Rotarian. Thank you for putting up with me for the whole season. Being your coach this year has been the honor of a lifetime. We are a team and we played together hard. I am proud of this all-star team. Because of the talented play of so many, we had a great and record-breaking year. From the July 4th parade to the Chamber Joint Mixer, from the Oakland Airport tour to the picnic at our barrier-free park, from St. Vincent de Paul service days to toys for youth that made the TV news, from the Pope's astronomer to the CEO of PG&E, from the mayor as an active member to membership growth, and an ombuds person. And a reduction in our endowment bank fees of around $30,000. Thank you, Jason. To a sustaining member dues category. From the President's Plunge and our new member reception, 4 new Interact clubs, a new Rotaract club, a speech contest, hell yeah, and multiple Rotary projects around the world, and so much more. Oakland Rotary is on the run. So what I'd like to do real quick, because we need to do this quick, there are Rotary on the Run medals on your table. And if I call a group that you're in, please stand, put a Rotary on the Run medal, and keep standing. So the first group is Marissa Betts. Carla, would you stand for Marissa? Marissa is a very, very active Rotarian. You need to put a Rotary on the Run medal on. The next group is Keith Uriarte. Keith, can you stand and put a Rotary on the Run medal? They're right in the middle of the table there. Keith brought in 11 new members. Next group is my wife, Martha, who I couldn't have done this without them. Martha, please stand and put on a Rotary on the Red medal. And now we're going to go quick. All new members, please stand and put a Rotary on the Run medal. And keep standing. Please keep standing. All board members, all committee members, all President Advisory Committee members, all members that love the whistle. Anybody stand? All members that worked on a committee, all members that donated to the Rotary Foundation, all members that wonder how much can be squeezed into one meeting, all members that attended our first meeting right here at the Henry J. Kaiser Center for the Arts, all members that love Oakland Rotary number 3, all members that love Oakland, all members that will support President Merlin Edwards next year. I'm hoping everybody is standing with a Rotary on the Run medal on. Thank you all. I love Rotary. I love Oakland Rotary number 3. I love you all. Thank you for your service. Now please let's welcome C.J. Hirschfield, retired nonprofit executive, to introduce our speaker.
I'm supposed to follow that? I will. Poetry serves as fires for the cold, ropes let down to the lost, something as necessary as bread in the pockets of the hungry. That's from poet Mary Oliver. Our speaker today is an Oakland poet. Barbara Jane Reyes was born in Manila, Philippines, was raised in the San Francisco Bay Area, and has published many works and won many awards. She teaches in the Yuchenko Philippine Studies program at University of San Francisco and has taught in the MFA programs at Mills College and University of San Francisco. Barbara Jane, who's lived in our city for 25 years, says that she loves Oakland because it is radical, working class, full of beautiful, strong, resilient, innovative brown and black folks, migrants, refugees, full of creativity and political and social consciousness. It is diverse in ideas and worldviews. We are so happy to welcome her today to Oakland Rotary.
Thank you so much, CJ, for your invitation, and thank you, everybody, for having me here. This is a beautiful space, and I'm honored to be among you today. I do want to start with maybe my first Oakland poem that I wrote when I was, first moved to the town and living across the street from what I later learned was Dwayne Wiggins' cafe and the Alice Arts. And this was many, many years ago when I was just learning about the Spanish poet Federico Garcia Lorca. And so this is a riff off of one of his poems from Poeta en Nueva York. And speaking of Nueva York, NYC is a vibe, Nixon 5, right? Okay. There. Here in the city, once covered with oak trees, here in this city called Oaktown, there is a there, we live here in the city called Oaktown. A century of brick and marble hotels here in the city called Oaktown, where cracked cherubs hang from gold leaf ceilings, here in the city called Oaktown, where oak tree roots crack open the pavement, here in the city called Oaktown. Brothers sit on their stoops and crack open their 40s, here in the city called Oaktown. Peace out, little sister. Be safe tonight. Here in the city called Oaktown, I stumble home with my whiskey smile here in the city called Oaktown. Djembe, funkadelic, 24/7 here in the city called Oaktown. My window rattles and shakes to the beat here in this city called Oaktown. The banana tree outside my window sways here in this city called Oaktown. Capoeira on sidewalks, Dwayne's Bumpin' Cafe here in the city called Oaktown. Sweet Swellin' Brothers rapping in French here in this city called Oaktown. Corner store Chapche and Kimbap saran wrapped here in this city called Oaktown. Wonder Bread, Wild Turkey, Old English 800 here in this city called Oaktown. Oh, Jackson Street, oh, new condo rising here in this city called Oaktown. Oh, double-paned windows overlooking the lake here in this city called Oaktown. Oh, Tribune Building, here where she jumped, here in the city called Oaktown. Lord, she never told me her name, here in the city called Oaktown. Oh, despair and cheap bourbon at the corner store. Oh, Oaktown, bleeding pavement and crack, here in our city called Oaktown. Thank you. So I'm going to share a few notes and some thoughts about this being an immigrant poet in the Bay Area. I was writing down all of my notes and I thought, wait, I've already written this essay, so I thought I would share that with you on being an immigrant poet in America. And I begin with a quote from the great Native American author Leslie Marmon Silko. Imagine an entire culture that is passed down for thousands and thousands of years through the spoken word and narrative. So the whole experience is put into narrative form. This is how the people know who they are as a people and how individuals learn how they are. And that's from Leslie Marmon Silko. I immigrated to San Francisco in 1973. I was 2 years old. My parents had previously moved here in 1969. They rented a small unit in an apartment building near Mitchell's Ice Cream in the Mission District, decades before the area became hip. My mother flew back to Manila in 1971 and gave birth to me. She returned to San Francisco, leaving me and my older sister in the care of our grandparents, aunts, and teenage uncle, who we thought was our older brother. My parents dove into the American grind, saved up, and 2 years later, my sister and I arrived here into the arms of our parents, two people we didn't know. The story I've always been told is that back in Manila, and sensing our impending departure, I hid my uncle's car keys under my grandmother's spinster's sister's bed. and that upon arriving in a dreary and rainy San Francisco, I cried for days and days. A trip to Disneyland did not assuage me. Other stories of that time entail me throwing up and ruining the interior of my mom's shiny, brand new Toyota Celica. My parents, hardworking immigrants that they were, bought their first home a couple of years later. We moved to the suburbs, Fremont to be exact, just north of Silicon Valley before it became widely known as Silicon Valley, and where we had a backyard, a cat, and a garden. My grandmother came from the Philippines, lived with us, and took care of us as both of my parents worked. In the 1970s in Fremont, among my classmates' parents, my mom was one of the only moms who actually worked full-time. My sisters and I attended private schools, took honors English, advanced placement history, and calculus. We scored high on the SATs and attended big, maybe prestigious universities. Decades later, we're paying mortgages and property taxes. I tell you this story not to brag, but to give you an idea of what I think was my parents' American dream. And I'm thinking about this American dream and American dream as mythology because I am thinking about being an immigrant poet. Stories about my family and the English language, of my parents being apprehensive to speak English in public places, of me being tongue-tied, hence shy and bookish around my American classmates. All of these stories belong in the realm of mythology now. And that's what's happened to my poetry. It's entered the realm of mythology. My interest in writing about the homeland and my culture has not faded in my decades of privileged American living, or in my 2 decades of writing and publishing in this country, or in my 3 years immersed in an MFA program, and not because of nostalgia or familial obligation. My history, my family history, have always had documents and artifacts. Posed and candid photographs, home movies, report cards, detention slips we forged with my parents' signatures, diplomas and degrees, marriage certificates, evidence of immigration, naturalization papers, Philippine and American passports, Facebook posts, and Instagram accounts. We have documents. My family history has also its share of lore and folklore. Oral tradition has ruled our self-knowledge, and with oral tradition has come multiple, sometimes quarreling versions of truth. I wasn't there, but I heard that. Has become this wonderful phenomenon called chismes or chisme or gossip, in which everyone gets to speak, some with authority, some with the power of speculation, some only under the condition of anonymity. This is the largely subjective, undocumented substance that interests me, the quarreling multiple versions and interpretations of events, reliable and unreliable narrators, secret tellers, disavowers, eyewitnesses, fabricators, yarn spinners. Rather than dismiss any of these artful tellers, I think of how much they must know, what wisdom they must contain, and how much they withhold, either because nobody has ever asked, or because the message they have accepted and internalized is that their stories are not legitimate, that they are petty and superfluous because their stories do not conform to a master narrative. Oral tradition has made me suspicious of single authoritative texts and master narratives. Instead, I am drawn to what persists and survives despite mainstream cultural insistence upon single authoritative texts. I love and value the stories in which asides lead to more asides, tangents lead to more tangents, oftentimes with no hope of ever returning to the original narrative. Consider that sometimes the narrative asides and tangents are indeed the very point of the story. To be a poet is to be a very good listener. To be a poet is to piece together some kind of musical or artful narrative from official and unofficial documents and undocuments, and to do so in all of the languages available to us. Most of all, most importantly, I have come to know that some stories take decades before they are ever told, and that in order for me to ever have access to these stories, I must offer something to initiate the exchange. I recently told my retired mother about one of my dreams in which her deceased father appeared to me. I told her this not in any kind of formal setting, but while she was sweeping the kitchen floor. In return, she told me about her mother, my grandmother, once had a dream foretelling her own miscarriage. This miscarriage was not something I ever knew, nothing she had ever told us. Some stories must wait decades to be told, and when they arrive, they do so spontaneously. And when they arrive, we have to be ready to receive them. None of what I have said here is specific to immigrant poets in America, to Philippine immigrants in America, but perhaps it can be said that my work ethic and aesthetic preferences as an immigrant poet in America, all of this emphasizes exchange, sharing, hearing and writing multiple versions, speaking simultaneously, working in collaboration, working not in a poetic individual I, but as a we, as a collective. Filipinos have this wonderful concept called kapwa, which translates best as shared humanity. I recognize your humanity, you recognize mine, and we're part of a larger body together. I'm going to skip forward to, I was given a writing assignment by the New York Times. Do you remember when you were in elementary school and had to write about your summer vacation? Yes, an editor from the New York Times emailed a bunch of us writers and said, here's your assignment, write about your summer vacation. So I wrote about the redwoods. My summers, for at least the past decade, have found me and my husband fleeing the illegal fireworks spectacles and screeching sideshows of Oakland and heading into the Santa Cruz Mountains, down the Monterey Peninsula, and across the iconic Bixby Bridge into Big Sur. In coastal redwood groves, I eavesdrop on children marveling at the oldest of the trees. It's so tall, it's as tall as the moon, one child says to the other, and I think that line is going to end up in one of my poems soon. I can't help but hug these giant trees and come away with my hair and arms covered in spider webs. I thank them for sharing their space, and I whisper, excuse us, we're just passing through, thank you. Loggers cut down many of the eldest redwoods over a century ago, but the trees' daughters grow in circles, fairy rings surrounding the stumps, and fallen trunks are covered with moss and mushrooms, turkey tail, pink-edged bonnet. We wonder what creatures or spirits reside in the hollowed-out trunks. Along the almost dried-out creeks, the blackberry bramble is thick and thorny and painful, but it offers the perfect place to be still and to spy on swallowtail butterflies. We climb uphill, and the terrain beneath the redwood canopies is soft and cool, covered with branches and needles. Their root systems sprawl and push up earth into staircases. Still further uphill, we clear the tree line, and the terrain is now fine white sand, what remains of an ancient ocean. Redwoods have given way to fragrant sagebrush, to twisted, smooth, red bark manzanitas, to ponderosa pine, and we watch the woodpeckers wage turf warfare upon one another. On the Monterey Peninsula, we find sea otters floating on their backs in the kelp off the coast of Pacific Grove and Point Lobos, and at the entrance to Moss Landing Harbor, where they roll their bodies around in the water, huffing and scrubbing their fur. We sit on the rocks and watch them no more than 2 meters away from us, unbothered by our presence. On the other side of the breakwater, an otter dives into the surf and emerges with shellfish to crack open on its furred belly. The harbor seals are now pupping on the shores, and the salt air is filled with their barking. In the scrub of the Salinas River beach dunes, we count the tiny brush rabbits darting into their burrows. All of these things tell me something about poetry, observing life sprouting from fallen, burnt, dead things, the stillness and silence required to watch a single hummingbird drinking the nectar of monkey flowers. Our smallness under the 200-foot-tall, 1,000-year-old trees, spotting a kestrel or a Cooper's hawk hovering above us at the peak of a mountain. I think of Gerard Manley Hopkins' poem, The Windover, the hurl and gliding, rebuffing the big wind, my heart in hiding, stirred for a bird. As a lapsed or failed Catholic, 8 years at Holy Spirit School in Fremont, 4 years at Moreau Catholic School in Hayward, thank you very much, I think my church is here on the mountain, under the redwoods, by the sea. When I was growing up in suburban Fremont, not too far from all of this beauty, color, and texture, I didn't know the names of the trees or flowers or creatures. I'm sure I asked my parents, and I'm sure that they bought me and my sister's books and took us to the public library as their way of telling us, look it up yourselves. The natural world was a faraway place beyond what we could see from the car window on family road trips to Cannery Row, to Hearst Castle, to Solvang, and ultimately to Disneyland. Finding the trails leading up to the mountains, away from safe and tame tourist attractions, away from souvenir shops and public restrooms, was not something we did. I didn't know we could. How many painstakingly composed family photos do I have? Of my 3 sisters, my parents, my cousins, my aunts, my uncles, wearing clean white sneakers and clean blue jeans, cameras slung around our necks, American place names printed across our newly purchased t-shirts. I found so many of these old photos in my grandfather's home in the small Philippine town of Gataran, a 12-hour harrowing bus ride northeast of Manila. These were the keepsakes that we sent home, quote unquote home, to show our large extended family what our American lives were like, our summers full of comfort, leisure, and safety. I would like to think my grandfather would recognize me now, not as a pristinely clothed teenager safely distanced from buzzing, crawling, skittering things, but his 50-something-year-old American granddaughter, emerging from the bush covered in sweat, in burrs, in bug bites, scratches and cuts from so much bramble, rocks in my socks and shoes, my legs covered with dust and mud, smelling like the sun, and with a head full of poems, just waiting to be written down.
Thank you, Barbara. You have a gift for speech. You have a gift for the written word. As you're sitting here describing the redwoods, I could see them.
Yes.
I could just see them. So we have time for a few questions. Are there any questions out there? Oh, please. CJ, come on. Do we have any questions out there? No? David Stein's got one. Past President David Stein.
So it's not a question. I want to thank our speaker, and I want to make sure everyone knows that on their table is a handout which has our speaker's poem about downtown Oakland, and the QR code gives you access to purchase her books, which are fabulous and highly recommended. So I want to make sure you don't miss that, because I'm hearing people at my table and others saying, where can we hear more? And at least you can read more by using the QR code.
So I have a couple questions. I'd love to know where you get your inspiration, and I'd love to know if you ever have writer's block.
I have writer's block all the time, and that's when I need to just go. Yeah, I have writer's block all the time, and that's just when I need to go into the world, right? So when I am talking about the redwoods, I'm literally going up into, past the Mormon temple and into Reinhardt, and, just that's where all the smells, the colors, everything, that's where all the inspiration comes from. So there's that, yeah. Is there another question? I've forgot now, I'm so sorry.
Michelle? The question was, she loved the opening poem and was wondering if I could give a reference to it.
That's a good question. I honestly don't remember now where it has been published. I've got this little book of poetry that a small publisher in San Antonio published. It's called "For the City That Nearly Broke Me," and the poem is in here. Yeah, it was poems about Manila, poems about Oakland, and that's the only place I can remember at this point. Thank you for asking.
Rick Draper. I got it right, Rick. Just so you guys all know, when I look at Rick, I see Santa Claus, and I can't get Rick out sometimes. But I did this time, Rick. So.
Well, Merry Christmas to you. I spent a year and a half in the Philippines, and I would be interested in knowing whether you're able to write with such beauty about your home country, because you were conjuring my memories of Lake Taal, of other spots, Cebu, in the north, the Batanes Islands. If you could write with that beauty about that place, I would be interested.
Yes, thank you. And I have, you know, in some of my previous work where I did used to spend a lot more time in the Philippines and in Cebu and in Mindanao and areas outside of Manila, you know, and the natural world there is also quite lush and colorful and beautiful. And, you know, I haven't been back in about 20 years. And I think when I do go back, then more writing will happen. But yeah, I have to be in it, right?
So Barbara, thank you so very much for joining us today. Barbara, in your honor, we've made a donation to Polio Plus. So know you're helping eradicate polio from the world. It's Rotary's signature project. In over 3 decades, we've reduced reported polio cases 99.9%. Polio only remains in 2 war-torn countries, Afghanistan and Pakistan. And we will eradicate polio because we are this close. And I also have a Rotary 4-way test coin for you. Again, it's our rule book for business and life. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Another quick save the date. Next year we will have an entry in the 4th of July parade. So keep that date marked. I want to ring the bell for Oakland Rotary number 3. It has been an absolute honor to be your president. Dudley, past President Dudley Thompson.
I suspect we're going to have a lot of bell ringers when you're not here next week. But Joe, thanks so much for serving.
Thank you, Dudley.
I'm also, for my $100, I'm also going to add save the date July 20th for a golf outing.
Nice. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Daniel Chang rings the bell.
All right, Daniel Chang, you don't need to speak. Mary does, though. You know Mary loves to chat it up. Let's go, Mary. Hurry up.
Past President Mary Jiang.
Hello, I'd like to ring a bell for Joe. Congratulations, a great job done.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. So Jesse Schmidt, co-founder and CEO of T&T Strength.
And newly married. How you doing?
Oh.
This is true.
Can you tell us about our speaker next week?
Yes, thank you, President Joe. Rotarians and guests, gather with us right here next Thursday at the Henry J. Kaiser to discover the secrets of the Fountain of Youth. Wait, hold on. I'm receiving information that the Fountain of Youth is actually a mythical creation that has no reality in science. But the good news is, even though we cannot extend life with the Fountain of Youth, we can extend health by knowing the right things to do. And that's what our speaker, one of my colleagues, Steve McKinney, a business owner and author for 30 plus years, maybe even 40 years. He's going to talk with us about the truth about aging, strength, health, and longevity right here next week. See you there.
Thank you, Jesse. Sounds fun. Sorry I'm going to miss it, but I hope you're all here. Past President David Stein, can you give us a quick save the date? I think our July offsite is going to be at a different week. You want to give us a quick shout out to save that date?
Sure. July 23rd will be our offsite. It will be visiting the Dino exhibit right here in the Henry J. Kaiser. More information on ticket costs, et cetera, to follow shortly, so keep an eye out for emails. No, it'll be late afternoon.
Okay, thank you. I want to thank everyone that made this meeting possible. Thank you to our scholars for joining us today. We wish you much success and hope to see you as Rotarians someday in the future. Big congratulations to our Dan Lazar Good Job Award winner, Ralph Scalar. Ralph, congratulations. And if you could help by cleaning up your table and paying your bell ringers to Jesse on the way out, that would be appreciated. I want to leave you with, through Rotary, world peace will come someday, and we will end polio too. Look out, Oakland Rotary is on the run. This meeting is adjourned, and wait for, oh, I lost my, well, I lost my whistle. I was going to try to blow it one last time. This meeting is adjourned.